All right, we should be up and running here in just a minute. Market just closed here. Actually, been closed for about 3 minutes. We'll talk about what to expect in the market going into tomorrow and review today's plays. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for May 13th, 2021. Qs up 0.77 here, and SPY up about 1.2. Okay. Coming into today, the expectation was if we gap down, we'll get bought. If we gap up, we'll probably kind of sit around and then maybe sell off in the afternoon. If we don't gap at all, then I expect us to rally and then get sold into the afternoon. Okay, that was the plan. So in the morning, we didn't really gap. It's like a small, tiny gap there on the SPY and the Qs. Okay, gapping up. Nothing like the, 2% gap that we had a couple days ago. So relatively small gap up. So we got bought initially and then sold off a little bit early, kind of like right into lunch actually. So I was kind of thinking we would actually sit around until the afternoon session, then sell off. So we sold off a little bit earlier, and then got picked back up into the afternoon. Okay, so really, especially with the SPY here, we kind of moved up and then got stuck in a range. Okay, so what does that mean for tomorrow? That means we're still kind of, I think, in this consolidation period. So I'm still going to be looking for a bearish bias tomorrow, unless we take out today's high for the SPY. That's going to be 412.35 over that. And on the Qs here, SPY is probably going to, if it does happen, take it out first. Qs here, the high is 322.40. If we take that out neutral, otherwise I'm going to remain bearish. If we gap down tomorrow, I am going to be bearish still. I'm not going to be expecting us to get bought because we've now paused. Okay, we've now rested here. It's different, right? It's different than what happened here. Okay, which is down, down, right, and then gap down some more, then gap down. Okay, we're probably going to need to get bought, right? Because we're a little bit extended, right? We know that just the ebb and flow of the market, right? Unless there's like a catastrophe, this is the way to expect kind of movement, right? And so now that we've paused here on the Qs SPY, we gap down, bearish, okay? If we gap, especially if we gap under the lows. So I'm going to remain bearish going into tomorrow, even if we gap down. Only thing that would change the bearish bias if we gap up. Okay, if we gap up over today's high. We take out today's high or we gap up to it and then take it out at the open. I'm going to be neutral and see what kind of follow through we get. Okay, the reason why I think today's high is kind of significant, not just because the hourly downtrend will be kind of being put into question, but also the daily here will be triggering a buy setup at support. Okay, so it's multiple bars down into support. Okay, so that's why. So we could start, a little bit of the chop back up. Okay, so that's the plan for tomorrow on the Qs and SPY. Okay, but the focus, as you know, for the last couple of weeks has all been about earnings, right? As earnings started to pick up, I say, okay, we got to increase the aggressiveness, start to really focus on the individual names. Wish today was called twice because it did have a little bit of a shakeout. Sammy called this in the morning. Had this little shake here. That's a really pretty 2-minute sell setup there. I think that's really, really nice. But then kind of shook out. Sammy had it called from up in the morning up here, right? And then kind of shook out and then came back down and then did a base breakdown there. Okay. What's great about this is we are into all-time lows, right? All-time lows, no support below. All right. So look at that move there. I think on the max on this, on the second play was about 4 hours, and the first play was like 10. Okay, so huge play. Remember the ARRY yesterday, right? Clearing all the support, right? The other one today, which I did not do, was the FLIR, and yeah, that was a little bit tough to let that one go. I'll talk about why it was given as an idea, meaning why there was a clear bias on it, but also why I didn't play it. Okay, so the FLIR, this FLR, gap down, and it's the nice trend break gap that we've been talking about, right? So you got this grind higher, and then you give back the move. Now you can notice here, this isn't really clearing the whole thing. It's not as damaging as like the VRSK, which actually VRSK, you know, still has some support there to the left as well. Okay, or the HBI is the same thing. HBI all the way down to here. Okay, so why I let this one go is because there is some overlap there to the left, as you can see. Weekly at the time also into some support and rising 20 MA. So here was the setup on the FLIR. You can already see it highlighted here, right? On this base breakdown here is about a 40-cent stop. Okay, but good gap. I just wasn't sure how much follow through it would get with all this congestion to the left, but we got our answer. And the answer was it was going to get through like all of it, right? So, and at least get sold pretty much all day. Strong reversal here, I guess. The support did kick in here towards the end. This wasn't earnings. They announced that they were doing convertible preferred stock. So, but just typically bearish too. We had some kind of INSM did a similar like offering along with convertible. I think theirs might have been convertible bonds, but same with the DVAX. So it's in a bearish event here. DVAX did a similar kind of thing. Okay, so it's bearish, and they seem to be getting through the support. So you know, something like that where had a good idea on it, didn't take it because of all the support. You know, it doesn't feel good, but then what do? Okay, you take it forward. You recognize the pattern, and with the event that caused it, and the kind of the bearish news and all that, and you just kind of prepare for the next play. So like if yesterday, right, like the ARRY, which ARRY for me shook me out. Okay, so it shook me out here. Now I didn't make a mistake here. Like as far as like replaying it, like if I hadn't replayed it, then yeah, I would say, okay, next time if I get shaken out of a play like it did, let's say right here, it shook me out and it bases at the lows, then I need to know to play it again. So like shook me out on this bar, and then it started base at the lows, and then right broke down. So I need to know, okay, I'm going to play it again. If I had made that mistake yesterday, right, and I were given the chance here on the wish, let's say you get shaken out again, right, and you come play it again. Okay, well now you know, right, on a really good gap with lots of reward to risk because it's clearing all support, then you need to play it again, right? And even if you didn't get shaken out, that would be even better, right? Actually, like came a few cents shy of the stop. It just looked like it was going to fail. Then even better. So you take these kind of things and you make adjustments, right? So it never feels good to like miss a really good play and watch it work without you. But sometimes environments change, what's working changes. So we just make note and make improvements. So hopefully, of course, you did well on ARRY and Wish yesterday and today, right? But those are the things that we should be looking for, okay? Because they are the things that are moving a lot on these, right? And what's nice about them is they're giving you all these all-day holds, right? So ARY obviously closed already here. So this is actually today. You wouldn't be holding it in today. So that I wouldn't recommend. If you're in the play and accelerates with big volume into the end, I would be done with it, right? So same thing with the Wish today. It wouldn't be see big volume at the end. I wouldn't be looking to hold this overnight. Okay, I'd be done. You can wait after a couple days to see if it sets up a 1, 2, 3, right? Which or sets up a base breakdown like the HAE did. See big gap and then base, and then you can play it as a swing. But I wouldn't like hold the day trade overnight. Okay. All right. Hope you did well today. We will be back at it tomorrow to close out the week, and I will talk to you then. Have a good rest of the day.